Okay, fellas, Bill here from in Sleekness, I'm sorry, and in health. How are you doing? It has been a long day. Bear with me, guys. So this one is going to be a shorter one, not because it doesn't really have content, but because of the fact that it's a simple thing. There's a simple point that I want to make, and it's simple but not easy. But it's something very basic that we all have to take into consideration in our lives. Having said that, let's go on and read that. As I'm aging, I'm feeling more and more powerless as I see all my relationships are based on some needs. And yep, more or less this sums it up. That's all, guys. Okay, no, let's move on a little bit with that. I can see my relationships running away if I take stock of my life for the past 10 years or so. I am in my late 30s and I have this growing sense of powerlessness. Despite my cordial relationships with my colleagues, I can see them struggling to find chink in my armor. My relationship with my bosses has always been very transactional. Obviously, the relationship with every boss will be like that, and not only that, but usually it will be more towards their part, you know. Anyway, my wife, though very loving, will shy away from discussion if I show my vulnerabilities. As long as I am a functioning husband and her lifestyle is not at risk, she is ready to play her role of loving wife. Exactly. My siblings are there only because I have been calling them and trying to keep in touch. None is there who actually roots for me, encourages me for my potential. All see me as a provider or someone they rely on. I feel this immense pressure building up, and I just feel like dropping all the things under mounting family and career pressure. What's in it for me after all? If their happiness or support is conditional to my suffering, why do it? This realization is making me bitter day by day and is seriously affecting my relationships with everyone. I feel alone and depressed most of the time. I don't know whom to ask for all this and share my fears. How can I stop and revert this from happening? What mindset change should I make that may make me overlook such pains and be more positive? Now, guys, as I've said in the past, us guys, people, and but I would say especially guys are very susceptible to this kind of stuff because we are emotional, but we are emotional, you know, um, opposite to girls. We are emotional in a more logical sense, and all of this that this guy has been describing here is something extremely logical, actually. I do understand him, and I'm pretty sure that all of us are identifying with him at this very moment. Thing is that every person, more or less, is like that. It's not just you, my friend. All of us, especially men, pass through that because at the end of the day, it's not that you have many people to really be there for you and root for you and support you. So, what you have to do is that you have to be well with the realization, as much as you can do that, that it is as it is and you are alone. You are born alone and you will die alone, unfortunately. And most of us have been quite lucky to have our parents around. I have been very lucky on this extent. Some other people have been less lucky, and I understand that. But apart from that, you don't really get too much unconditional love. And sometimes I could even say that love doesn't really have to be unconditional. I have covered this in other videos, and I will keep on saying that, and I will cover that on other videos as well. But at the end of the day, you have to familiarize yourself and you have to get accustomed to the fact that these things are as they are. As I always say, biology helps, and we have to take it into consideration. And we have to understand that all the people, but women even more, that is half of the people, they are very opportunistic by nature because this has to do with their survival. So when we're talking about women, especially women will depend on you and will root for you provided that you practically provide something to them. That's as it is. All of our girlfriends have been like this, all of our wives have been like this, all of our female friends have been like this. Okay, now when it comes to our friends, I strongly believe that when it comes to male friends, you can definitely find some friends who can be there for you no matter what, and they will be able to support you. I have had this in my life, and or at least I think so, to be honest. And I think that you need to cultivate these kinds of relationships. And I think that you, as much as they have to be there for you, you have to be there for them and support them unconditionally. You know, be able to drive at night for your friend, be able to support them, be able to, when they're about to break down or cry or whatever, to be there so that you can help them uh, no matter how you can, like, you can find a way, and that's the thing at the end of the day, that sometimes people just want to hear, a compassionate word. They just want some verbal support, some psychological support, not more than that. But obviously, if you can be more practical, offer practical help to your friends. But that's what I have seen. After your family, and usually your parents, more or less, sometimes your siblings, depends on the siblings and the situations. But after that, remember, whom else do you get to choose? You get to choose, or you should get to choose, your girlfriend and your wife and your friends, male and female. The problem is that when it comes to female and to female nature as a whole, well, as I said, female nature as a whole has an opportunistic nature, which means that they will not support you if you don't actually give something to them. And that's when it comes to women, because you know women want actual support, materialistic support, if I could say. Okay, so it's not that just you can offer to women the same support that you would offer to your male friends. It's something completely different. So what I want to say, okay, so that we can sum it up, is that you should cultivate some relationships that are as unconditional as they can get. Okay, don't be surprised if you are not really able to do that. Okay, but I am a very strong advocate of having meaningful and long-standing relationships with any kinds of people, including women. But for these kinds of things, I would more encourage you to do it with men. Okay, as I will say in many of the videos to come, be prepared to lose your girlfriend or your wife about silly things. Okay, that's how it is. Let's read some comments here. Find a therapist, find a hobby, read a book about midlife crisis. Colleagues are not your friends if they're polite, good enough. Otherwise, you're fighting for the same promotion. Very, very true. Both relationships supposed to be transactional, obviously. Yes, you need to invest in relationships with siblings, friends, etc. They do it from their side, you just not notice. It's okay, it's normal that they dedicate to your relationship. They can, but yeah, of course, what you have to see is how you can dedicate, and then evaluate their dedication as well. Seems like you're looking for unconditional love and support, but it is only from mothers and up to a point. That's true. So hobby, preferably sport and outside, makes your mind calmer and clearer. And trust me, I'll go through it. That's true. That's true. More or less, the rest of the people go through it. Many women, if not all, I wouldn't be sure, but more or less all of the men. You have to be able to stand up for yourself and to be able to do that, you have to have yourself reinforced. You have to have strong foundations, no matter when it comes to materials, okay, no matter when it comes to money, not only when it comes to your career, but when it comes to your personal, psychological, and mental stability as a whole. Okay, you have to be self sustainable in general. And this is one of the main things, you could say, main characteristics that differentiates a man from a woman. If a man is not self sustainable 100%, he cannot really perform all of the, let's say, duties, that a man could do. So you have to do that. Sometimes you might not even feel like you're a man, which is a little bit of an exaggeration, I would say, but I'm pretty sure that you guys get what I say. As a man, you have to be self sustainable, and this is as it is. I also just started to deal with these issues. Sure, sure. This can help. You seem to be dealing with a lot. You should do things because you want to do them, not because others expect it. That's true as well. hmm hmm That's depression. Please consult with your GP and get therapy. Not necessarily, but it is something that if it persists, and if you orientate yourself towards what I said more or less throughout the entire video, if you orientate yourself towards that and you still don't see any improvement in your state of mind and in your philosophy in what you feel, I would recommend you going to a therapist. That's true. No one has talked about your wife. It's definitely a problem if she won't let you be vulnerable around her, especially if you are consistently serving that role for her. It's definitely very selfish behavior that you shouldn't tolerate. Okay, man, welcome to the party. That's women for you. That's women for you. And again, we're going to analyze this more in the episodes to come, but that's what women do. If you get vulnerable to women, they will definitely not like that. And maybe they will offer you some support, some psychological support and stuff, where they will act like it. But believe me, they will not really mean it. And sometimes this could be the beginning of the end. They could start distancing themselves for you because they actually, lose the enthusiasm that they have, and they lose their, I don't know, I could say admiration and positive vibe, positive um, opinion that they have for you. And as harsh as it may sound, it is as it is. And it is like that. And again, we men have to be strong, and we have to know that, because this is what a man is. A man has to be strong, and not only physically strong, it has to be mentally strong, and this is even more difficult. I hope that I can help with that. I hope that I can also get your support, guys, and I hope that you definitely find this, or hopefully I should say, you find this very interesting and helpful. Please let me know about what you think about these topics. Your opinions and your comments definitely count, and they definitely help this channel move forward. And this is what I want to do with this channel. I want to get, you know, I will talk about, and I have talked about philosophy, biology, and and all that. I've given you my little sermons over there, but I also want to get some real examples from real life, as the one that you're seeing here, and analyze them so that we can all benefit from all that. Okay, guys, thank you very, very much for your attention. All the people that have reached up to this point, please subscribe, share the videos, comment on the videos. As I said, I really appreciate that. See you on the next one. Take care.